Not once have I ever wanted to censor a liberal. Not once have I ever told a Democrat to stop talking. I don't want to hear it. I embrace it. I welcome it, which is why I want to talk about this Kanye West, Donald Trump, and Nick Fuentes situation. If you don't know, there's a situation that occurred. Kanye West brought Nick Fuentes, who is a self-proclaimed white nationalist. Okay, so it's not even a situation of me being able to blame Democrats on labeling this guy. He's like straight up self-proclaimed himself as a white nationalist. Okay. And Kanye West, we know what's been going on with Kanye West and his remarks. Why Kanye's doing it, whether it's to prove a point, whether it's to kind of back up Musk and say, hey, free speech, I get to, or maybe he's got some real good logic behind what he's saying lately. The mainstream media has painted it anti-Semitic. Yes, him saying I'm going to go DEFCON on Jewish people was totally inappropriate. Was it taken out of context? Was it hyperbole? Was there a deeper story to that? I don't know. It was taken down so fast, and I think he deleted it. But I'd like to know the backstory to that. I'd like to know why Kanye West said that. And that is because I am an advocate of free speech. I embrace all viewpoints, all perspectives. If Kanye West said something disgusting, I don't judge him for it. I might not agree with it. I might find it highly inappropriate. But the first thing that's going to come to mind to me is not ban Kanye, shut down his account, censor him. It's going to be, why did you say that? What was the reason for saying that? Because Kanye West is not an idiot, contrary to popular belief. He's a very smart businessman. So he met with Donald Trump a couple nights later, and Kanye shows up with Nick Fuentes as a dinner guest. Trump sits down with them. Well, you better believe Trump got roasted. And now Trump's a white supremacist all over again. Trump met with Kanye West, anti-Semitic Kanye West, white nationalist Nick Fuentes. Oh my God, that's it. The end of Trump campaign. It's over. And the liberals are now celebrating, popping champagne like they've just won the election already. And Republicans are furious over the fact that Trump actually sat down with this guy. And the first thing, again, that comes to mind is, hold on a second. I want to know why Trump did it. I also don't think it was right that Trump apologized for it. He didn't necessarily apologize, but he blamed Kanye West. Again, giving the Democrats more ammunition that Trump doesn't take responsibility. That's their ammo. Trump never takes responsibility. Trump never holds himself accountable for anything, which is not true. But that's the argument they like to use. And Trump gave him, the left, that ammo when he blamed Kanye. I would have liked to see Trump say, hold on a second, here's why I did it. Here's why I met with Nick Fuentes, who the Democrats have a personal vendetta for, obviously, because the guy has made a name for himself as a white nationalist. So I would have liked Trump to come out and say, well, here's why I did it. I knew who Nick was. I mean, let's be honest. I'm almost positive Trump knows who Nick Fuentes is. And I'm sure that Trump's team, if Trump legitimately didn't know who Nick Fuentes was, Trump's surrounded by some pretty smart people. There's somebody there who immediately would have gone on their phone and looked that guy up and be like, hold on a second, he is not coming in because we do not need this BS. That didn't happen, which is fine. It's fine. So Trump obviously allowed this guy to sit down with dinner with Kanye West. And I love that Trump gave Kanye West an opportunity to sit down as well. Trump did tell Kanye, listen, you're out of your freaking rocker to run for president. You're not going to win. You're just going to make it. You're going to embarrass yourself. And I agree with Trump. It's an insult, if anything. And I believe Kanye West even asked Donald Trump to become his vice president, which is that's just Kanye flexing. That's Kanye for clicks. why he brought Nick Fuentes. Maybe he meant to damage Trump's reputation. I mean, again, Kanye's not stupid. Maybe Kanye brought Nick Fuentes to that dinner as a strategy, as a ploy to now bring down Trump. And if that's why Kanye did it, that'll be the end of the relationship. I mean, Trump will never trust Kanye again. Trump will never meet with Kanye. So if Kanye actually did it to attack Trump, to discredit his reputation, to link Trump with a white nationalist, well, that was a very short-sighted decision on Kanye's part, because Kanye could use some Trump cred. Kanye can use a potential partnership in the future. Kanye has a big reach, a big voice. So I'd hate to think that Kanye actually did that to attack Trump, because that would be a very short-sighted and ridiculous move. But again, instead of jumping down Trump's throat, I like to ask Trump, or at least get to the bottom of why he did it. We'll come back after these messages and we'll dissect this a little bit more. And I'll tell you why I think it was actually good that they met, because of who Trump is. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. So we're talking about the Donald Trump, Kanye West story for those of you who are just joining us, and the fact that Kanye, Milo, whoever you want to accuse, brought Nick Fuentes, Gen Z, self-proclaimed white nationalist, to a dinner at Mar-a-Lago that Donald Trump is clearly getting a lot of heat for. I've listened to a lot of interviews about this, a lot of guests, a lot of hosts talk about what went wrong here. How did this happen? I'm reading a comment right now. Teresa, thank you for weighing in. I do appreciate that. And when you guys comment during the break, I do look things up, and I'm, did I get it wrong? Did I get this story? Did I misinterpret this story? Did I get it wrong? Because the last thing I ever want to do is tell you guys something that's just not true, or not have my facts straight. So Teresa, thank you for the comment. Teresa said Milo is the one who introduced Ye to Fuentes, and the one with an agenda against Trump. I'll be very honest with you. I don't know much about the Milo situation. All I know is that I saw Trump on Truth Social post that he was blaming Kanye. He went after Kanye for this. So if Milo is out for Trump, if Milo set the whole thing up, I'd like to hear more about that. I'd like to see an article or two about that before I really weigh in. It's not that it's not true. It's just that I don't have that much information on it. What I do know, though, is Trump, before the break we were talking about this, Trump did blame Kanye. And I was telling you guys, again, if you're just joining me, I don't think Trump should have blamed anybody. I think if Trump wanted to have dinner with these guys, it's perfectly acceptable. Just be, again, we might not agree with each other. We might not like what the person sitting across the table may represent. We might be totally against it. But again, we do live in America. And this is what the Democrats and the Republicans are finding very hard to come together on, is free speech. And I don't care what you say, the Democrats are not for free speech. They're just not for it. If they were for it, they wouldn't be trying to ban Twitter on the App Store. They wouldn't be siding with Tim Cook. They wouldn't be siding against every single conservative who has a loud megaphone. They wouldn't hate Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert with a passion. They wouldn't hate and despise Ted Cruz. The liberal left are very angry people. They're full of hate when it comes to free speech. And if they were watching this right now, they would be boiling up because they know I'm right. It doesn't matter what your perspective is. And I think that's what Trump was thinking when he decided to have dinner with Milo, Nick Fuentes, and Kanye West. So he had this dinner. He knew who these people were. And if he didn't know at first, he would have known very shortly after. Because somebody there, one of his team, would have said, hey, Mr. President, by the way, this guy is a very, very famous, well-known white nationalist. And Trump would have said, okay, get him out of here. I want nothing to do with this. Kanye, you're an asshole. Beat it. But none of that happened. They all sat down. They had dinner at Mar-a-Lago. It was obviously leaked to the media. Whether it was a setup or not, I'm not sure. But clearly something went wrong during this meeting. Or it didn't, and Donald Trump was happy to have this meeting. I would have rather have liked to hear Donald Trump say, yeah, I had the meeting, so what? Okay, he calls himself a white nationalist, whether it's just for attention or whether he really is. Although I don't really see Nick Fuentes doing anything that would lead me to believe he's a true white nationalist. I just know that he calls himself that, whether he's trying to prove a point, whether he's trying to get under the liberal skin, whether he's trying to do it for show, I don't know. But Donald Trump, I think, would have been, I think Donald Trump should have just said, I had dinner with, because I wanted to hear what they have to say. It would have sat a lot better with me, because Donald Trump's a businessman at the end of the day. He's an entrepreneur. And if you are an entrepreneur, you know that you're better off hearing what others have to say rather than shutting the door on every single person you don't agree with. You're not going to get anywhere as an entrepreneur. Trump's a very smart man. He's also a curious man. He wants to hear what people have to say, whether he agrees with them or not. He's very inquisitive by nature. And that is an entrepreneurial element of successful people. Whether you think he's successful or not is neither here nor there. What Trump's accomplished in his life is pretty damn cool and points to many levels of success. So I believe Trump actually wanted to have the meeting. I believe that he wanted to hear what these guys had to say. And at the end of it, that was it. Nothing more to think about. The liberal media could dress it up. They could slam Trump for having a meeting with the white nationalists. But I just don't think there's anything else to it. But nevertheless, he did blame Kanye West. According to The Hill, the former president on Saturday said, Ye, the rapper, formerly known as Kanye West, is a seriously troubled man. So he did call out Kanye. He did point the finger at Kanye for this meeting, regardless of what we all believe. He said Kanye is a seriously troubled man who Trump was trying to help, but also blamed Kanye for the dinner in which Trump says Ye brought along a known white supremacist. Trump said on Truth Social. Now, this is Trump saying on Truth Social. So this isn't me misinterpreting it. This is Trump going on Truth Social and saying that Ye brought far-right activist Nick Fuentes to dinner on Tuesday night and claims he did not know who Fuentes was. This is in Trump's words. So I help a seriously troubled man who just happens to be black, Ye, Kanye West, who has been decimated in his business and virtually everything else, Trump wrote. Quote, and who has always been good to me by allowing his request for a meeting at Mar-a-Lago alone so that I can give him some much needed advice. Trump went on to say he shows up with 3 people, 2 of which I didn't know. The other, a political person who I haven't seen in years. Trump said, I told him, don't run for office. A total waste of time. Can't win. Fake news went crazy. The New York Times and Axios both reported that last week that Trump dined on Tuesday night with Fuentes and Ye at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. So again, I think Trump would have just been better off saying, I had dinner. I didn't know who they were at first. I learned throughout the dinner who this kid was. I'm not happy with Ye about it, but I listened to what they had to say. End of story. Fake news media. There's nothing else to it.